By this way, obedience doesn't matter boy or a woman or a man or a woman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can elevate whom He wants according to the state of the heart. What we learn from that? When we go to Hajj, we're going to do Safa and Marwa. What we learn from that? Who's the first one to do that? We imitating a woman to the rest of our life. And when you do Hajj, you cannot do Hajj and escape Safa and Marwa. Safa and Marwa and the Sa'i is an obligation and a pillar of Hajj. You have to implement. Why we have to implement? Elevation for a woman called Hajar alayhi salam of her own yaqeen, her own faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We cry about the condition of our women. And some people said, what about our men? Our men too we cry for. Because imagine Ibrahim alayhi salam, he then said, oh Allah, my only son, what do you want me to do? I love him so dearly. I get him after all this year. No. Obedience is obedience. Obedience is obedience. For father or mother. Because Allah is just. He gave Ibrahim alayhi salam a test and He gave Hajar alayhi salam a test. Now to continue the test, Ismail alayhi salam grew up. And when he grew up and he became a young boy, when you are in the Arabic Peninsula or any desert, once the son becomes like a young boy, this is a time when the father looks at his son as a new generation of men. And this is why we can look to our own children and get upset when they act like boys in a time when they should be acting like men. Very important to grow up. Why? The father actually in his heart waiting for this moment to feel his own son. He's becoming a man. This gives a joy to the father so much. Why? Because in a desert environment, a man or a young man meaning a supporter of his own father. And always a father waiting for his own young boy or young child to be a man, just to start seeing his own fruit coming and help him out in his life. But wonder what happened. At this moment, yes, the boy growing, but the love of Ibrahim alayhi salam to his own son is growing too. What's meaning? Some scholars said the peak of the love of Ibrahim alayhi salam to Ismail was the time of Allah commanding Ibrahim alayhi salam to butcher his own son. Why? Actually, some scholars say something very nice, and I like it very much. Is actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do not want to butcher Ismail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to butcher the heart of Ismail in his father's heart. Because Ibrahim is Khalilullah. He's the most beloved to Allah. And cannot be the one who loves and the one who close by. Cannot be partner with another love. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do not like that. And this is what we learn here. We learn we should not love anyone above the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our kids, our wife, our husband, our whatever we own is just a trial. It's just a trust. They will never live forever. Like one man one time, he was walking by and he saw a man blind keep crying. He said, what happened to you? He said, I cry over my wife. She's dead 25 years ago. He said, 25 years ago you cry over her? He said, yes. And he said, you lost your eyes for her? He said, yes. He said, subhanallah, I'm surprised about a human being lose his eyes and use his crying for some another human being died, and do not cry for the one who never died. Which one is more benefit? The one who died cannot benefit you, or the one he will never die, and he is the only one benefit you. And again, we lost that. We lost the essence and the reality of love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala above any love. And in Surah At-Tawbah, Allah make it clear, those who love their parents, their kids, their wife, their family, their belonging, their houses, their merchant, their money, above Allah and His Messenger, be waiting for torture from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even Allah ended, Wallahu la yahdi al-qawm al-fasiqeen. Allah do not give guidance to those who are fasiq. Why Allah called the believer to be a fasiq? If the love of the dunya or the material or what they own above the love of Allah. And you find in Quran many verses, do not let your kids, your wife, your family distracting you from the message. And this why is a journey of Hajj. One of the purpose of it to completely make you migrate from the environment of ownership, which you really do not own it, to the immigration to a land which you do not own nothing. To put you in a reality, this is a reality. You will die alone. You will be resurrected alone. None of your family will benefit you. Everybody will be questioned about his own deed. What we learn from that? Imagine a man going to his own wife and said, I saw a dream. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell me, instructed me to butcher our own son. Today, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. I know a woman almost calling 911 for her husband because he shaved the head of her own son, and the shaving she didn't like it. She's ready to call 911. I know many women, they did mischief to the husband because he did something just he didn't like or she didn't like. I know men who beating their own wife for something stupid. Where's the manner? Where's the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I know women just squeezing the husband and really want to divorce him, just to really put him in a hard time, just to get what she wants. Where is the fear of Allah? Today it become a mania between the Muslim families. Women want divorce. And also between men. The man has no manner with the wife and kids. And the kids has no respect to the parents and the wife, the mother. What's going on? What happened? It is the absence of Iman. If each one focus on his own problem, the connection between him and Allah, we will be benefit, all of us. My dear brother and sister in Islam, time is very short. And Hajj is not a journey for 10-15 days and you come back. Unless you understand what you're doing and what's the purpose, what's the wisdom behind it. You will just do a ritual and come back, same thing. And no benefit. By this way, when I do Sa'i and Safa or Marwa, I remember Hajj. When I'm surrounding the Kaaba and making tawaf, I think about who built it. Look at this. Ibrahim alayhi salam go to his wife, command her or ask her and he tell her what happened in his dream. And the wife, what she said? Whatever you saw, you do, Ibrahim alayhi salam. Now Shaitan came to the wife. You crazy? He saw the devil. This not was Allah, this is the devil. And he whispered to her. He said, your husband is crazy. What she did? Look at the faith in the woman when she has faith in her own husband. She took some dust and threw it in his face. And she said, go away, you are the devil. How she knows he is the devil? Because she trusts her husband. She knows who her husband is. Today, how many of our wives trust the husband? I know some wife, some brother tell me, the wife tells the husband in the front of his own kids, I do not trust you. You are a piece of this, you are a piece of that. And she keep insulting him. You know? And she's supposed to be a Muslim. Where's the fear of Allah? And sometimes 80% or even 99% of what she said is a bunch of lies. Her own understanding. Is this woman really fear Allah? And she do dhikr, she makes salah, she do everything. MashaAllah. But zero obedience to her husband.